I would like to have a quick thank you to my co-chair, all our volunteers this weekend, the Bart and Brian Lagman.
Hi, welcome to the Chicago Open 2022 event finals. We have Today we have in the first event finals Team Doremus versus Team Wright. We saw a good first down with a lot of rocks in play. Teams have come to play here today, and hopefully we'll have a good game.
Yes, we should. Both of these teams have been playing really good, tight games throughout the entire bounce deal. We have a good start to this second end already, with right having the tight guard, yellow coming around. Now we'll see if Russ can follow him down, sit right on top of it.
It was a nice come around by yellow, but if anything, maybe it was just a little bit deep, so there's room for Wright to freeze one on there. Line's good on this one. Tap weight, and he'll move it off the button, and good shot.
Yep, it is going to stick out a little bit, or a significant amount.
This come around is a little bit tight. It's going to be on the guard. They're trying to sweep it to get past it. They're going to get a tick though. Actually, they ticked it frozen to the red one.
That's going to allow Wright here the opportunity to cover those two up and really start putting the pressure here out.
Still early, but stealing two would be a great score for Wright here to take command of the game. This 1 hour is also over curling.
Yep.
It's going to peek out on the other side of the
Peek
center.
out the other side, which is going to give them an opportunity to go after these two stones.
Question now if he wants to freeze here or kind of tap it or even hit it. It looks like he's...
Well, I think they're going to play for the double here.
Yeah. There's enough separation to get both of those.
Yeah, there's absolutely
going.
enough.
Yeah.
Especially with these rocks that we've been seeing, brand new rocks this year at the club. I've really seen them fly off each other, so solid third should make both of these go away.
Sweeping for curl here. They're gonna get a slight piece of it.
It's a pretty decent result for them. They don't get the double. The back one squirting back, but it is just in the back eight. Really open up the forefoot.
Gotta go on this one to get it by the guard. It's tight.
Yep, no.
Oh, it's not there.
It's gonna crash this go.
Playing for the tap instead.
Will punch it up enough.
Now look at that. You can really tell the liveliness of the rocks there with that down weight and able to punch it all the way into the forefoot.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, they don't get the angle quite right. And it will be fully open, allowing Doremus to come with a softer weight, hit and roll under those two guards up there.
Sweeping hard on this one. It looks pretty good. It's a
It does. If they can get
perfect
around,
shot.
they do get around. And the flip into shot undercover.
It jammed on the back one, but they'll take that for getting the roll under.
Absolutely. That Red Rock still there behind the tee line.
They're looking at the double P there at first, but
I
no.
think he was-
Indication is.
I think he's originally looking potentially at the run.
Yeah, exactly.
Then the freeze. Now it looks like more coming back over
Okay,
here, back to the
back
freeze.
to corner freeze. Well, he's close. This is curling. They gotta
Close
keep
is,
it.
yeah.
Shallow is
think
sweeping
they-
hard on this one.
I think they're still on the corner of that one. A little bounce roll.
Well, it spilled into the rings, and it did leave that yellow one open. So
Actually, it helps them. I don't want to say helps them a little bit, but it does prevent access to that one in the back gate.
call is to go in through the port and split this yellow, I believe. This one looks pretty good. Sweeping it the whole way.
Question's
Top
gonna push
way.
it too far, but no, it doesn't.
Call is to hit this. Got to be careful here though, so we don't jam that on the back red one.
Yeah, it doesn't have a huge port to get through.
No. And they're flirting with that red corner biter as well. So
Absolutely. Hard out of the hand, though.
wait, so they can control it. Good sweeping here. They're trying to keep it nose and just.
They'll clip their back one, but not push it out of the rings.
Yep. Looks like they're sitting 3, 4, 5. No, they're actually sitting 2, I believe.
That's really close.
Yeah. So yellow is forced to deal with that one.
I think they're going to be forced to deal with it regardless. It's one of those stones kind of in the 4-foot range above it.
Yeah.
It really
Anything
helps control that area.
top of the house, definitely crucial piece of that game.
Once again, sweepers on it out of hand. That guard is coming up quick. Are they going to be able to hold
That
it?
was a good sweep there.
And they are.
And actually get a little bit of roll as well.
Oh, that's going to be a really good shot. With Dreamus hitting 1, 2, 3 after. And we are down to Skips Rocks here in the second.
Looking at this, trying to figure out if there's a double there.
I definitely think there is. But you're gonna almost likely have to take it over top of the one in the 4
Yeah.
foot, despite in the 4.
Yep. That top yellow is close, but I think the shot is there. It might even be, if they're really lucky, they get the back yellow going as well. But sweeping it right away.
Yep. That's a third straight hit. I don't know if we're playing it tight.
This one is over curling.
Yep, this one's on the guard. Alright, we're gonna clear that guard, but with only one rock left to throw, this is definitely gonna be a tough end for Wright to try to get the force and hold them only to 1, maybe 2.
Yeah.
This could be a really big end
Sitting
here for
3.
Dreamus.
They're looking at going in, put another one in the house.
Absolutely.
They do have the red guard actually helping them up there, covering shot rock partly.
They do. And part of it is looking at what I call this. What's Jeff's out in this set?
Yeah,
Well, what's gonna save him from giving out the big end?
I think it might be the tap on his top 12 red. That's possibly, but it's a risky shot.
But it is. So you've got the tap on the red or the draw on the left side.
Yeah,
And you're drawing into the 4 foot, an area that's really hard to get a run or a hit onto.
yeah.
Cut a few out, shrink the scoring area. So by throwing another one in here on the left, it really takes that draw away, forcing Jeff likely into that tap, which is the harder shot.
Ideally, are they trying to go through that port here a little bit?
I think that was the initial call.
It looks like it's hanging a little bit. They might even get a tap on their top. No, they're calling it plan B here to move the other yellow one to cover more of the shot rock.
And that was the nice one about playing that specific shot on that angle, is they did give you some options.
Right.
You make through the port, great, that's your plan A. But a tap on that rock, not terrible.
Yeah.
And then as it stands,
Still sitting 3 here.
yep, they're still sitting 3, and any sort of double on that top one likely is giving Dreamus just the draw for 3.
Yeah. So they're looking at that tap. They could probably draw around on the outside as well to cut him to sit 1 only.
They could. The challenge with that draw at this point is if you take it too deep,
Yeah.
was to that Dreamus just through this throwing rock and that tap rock are almost directly lined up to play a short little double run.
True. Yep. that also. I don't think they've thrown a lot of out-turn draws here coming this way, so they might not know exactly what they're looking at. So.
Definitely. I mean, this is the first end coming back this way.
Yeah, it would be a guess. So.
And we've been playing on the right side of the sheet for feels like pretty much the entire end.
Yep. It's a little on the outside, but
What a shot.
That's
What
a beauty.
shot. Talk about a potentially game-saving shot
Yeah,
here.
that's.
Yeah, do you want to put them under off on mine? Maybe that'll help.
They're looking at maybe if they hit this on the outside that they could get a piece of the red one.
Yeah, and I don't think there's really a shot here to go after that one in the 8-foot to run that straight back for the shot. It might be there, but it's a really tight one trying to get.
Yeah.
The other option there is then to thin that top one and try to shoot that straight back.
Red guard turned out to be helping right here as well.
I mean, once again, if they're able to respond with an equally as good shot here, it could be for a bundle.
No.
I don't think you keep all four. I don't think you keep all four rocks around.
No, I think.
But potentially 2, if not 3.
Yeah. I think you gotta hit about half rock on the top one maybe to get that yellow to spill back and get a piece of the red
I think
one.
with this, you have to hit this top one to make the middle one go back. You're probably losing the top one. Matt on this
Sweeping hard.
really hard. I
Close
don't
to
think they're going to get the
nose.
angle they want on it.
Nope.
Unfortunately, hit it a bit too thick. And that's going to be a steal of 1 for Team Right here in the second.
Let's take a look at sheet 3. This is our second event. And it's Not Sure from Chicago versus Anderson from BC. With Not Sure being up by 1 third end. Let's have a look at our finals on sheet 1. We have Sorry We Overswept from Chicago versus Iwanaga from Windy City. And we have the colors are actually flipped here, so it's Iwanaga that's in the lead, 3-0. And on sheet 4, this is our fourth event finals with Ouellette from
Battle for
Dallas
California here.
and McBride out of Orange County. And it looks like we have Ouellette with a 2-0 lead. They did blank end too, so we are on the third end here as well.
Chat monitor.
Yep. Okay, all right, awesome. So corner guard goes up and right, slipping into the house here and off center as well.
Yep, with Dreamus here going. Using that corner guard.
Definitely a 2 here would bring him right back into the game again. So.
Still early, still really early game here.
Yeah.
We're only in third end. 2 points. Definitely not something to be too worried about, but definitely generating your 2 here.
It's been a tight game, and they did have an excellent chance in that last end to generate a big score, but it took an excellent shot from Jeff Wright to get the steal there. So
Without a doubt, that was up until the last 2 shots really Dreamus' end, and then an absolute fantastic shot from Jeff really saved him.
Yeah, the right team definitely have played well in this field. They had a really good game against Iwanaga. We have that on the stream. It was a fantastic game. Came down to the last shot, basically. And then they had in the semis, they had Ouellette, another good game. It came down to the last shot as well. And Dreamus likewise has been impressive the whole spiel.
Yeah, we broadcasted that game yesterday, and that was the battle of the single point ends.
Right.
Which honestly we could see very much so in this game as well, with both teams playing as well as they played this weekend. So on that second Dreamus lead stone did get behind the corner, but was a little bit deep, which allowed Wright to come down on top of it. Dreamus here trying to follow them back down. Not sure they're going to get the angle on this that they want.
Top weight here, so at least they're moving it up enough to...
They will push it back enough, but it's still the that red stone up in the top 8 that is going to be shot rock. And give Wright here the opportunity to swing another one right around that corner guard and keep the pressure on.
So being that they don't have a center guard here, they're pretty much forced to play around the corner, right? Even though they don't have Hammer here.
Well, I think even without Hammer, this isn't necessarily a required steal end for Jeff.
Right. Yeah.
A force here in an odd end, completely great. You are up points. It is a small lead, but you still are up. A force here in 1. Try to attempt to get your 2 plus points here in 4, and that could really blow up this game for him.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Jeff is really needing to steal here as much as I think for him, use the guard that you have up there and really try to force Remus into the one.
Key for Jeff here, I think, is to always hit 2, right? To try to keep those yellow in the back counted.
Well, as long as he's out counting those couple in the back,
Yeah.
and utilizing that guard, it's going to put him in a really good position. Now, unfortunately, their rock did also slide a little bit deep, which is giving them the opportunity here. But this one looks pretty steamy as well. I don't know if it's going to stop for him.
Come down to the backing. So we definitely have a lot of rocks in the back of the house.
Yep, there's a veritable wall back there behind that corner guard. It does bounce off their own and does leave them 4-shot, I believe, shot rock. But with it being behind the tee, we're just going to continue to see these rocks get thrown behind that corner until someone makes one above the tee.
That's what Jeff is indicating here. Also, the top 4 would be ideal results. Doesn't have to be fully buried either. I think it's enough if it's half buried because they are catchers back there. And
oh yeah, without a doubt. With as much catchers as there are back there, I mean, full bury would be great. But if you're throwing a quarter of a rock, even maybe up to a half a rock, it's still not the easiest to get at and get out.
Going for weight, and
unfortunately they're not. I don't think
it looks pretty open, so they're taking it back in order to have the catchers back there.
Yeah, the way was pretty good, but I don't think they're getting the line that they're anticipating out of it. But with as many catchers back there as there are, taking it back, hiding, and just from looking here at the sheet, they've got it probably a quarter buried. But it is once again, it's behind the tee and gives Remus a chance here to freeze down on top of it.
This is tighter. I think they're on it. No, okay, no, they're off.
Oh, they were on it early, but they are definitely getting it off now. And just once again, it looks. Seen a lot of rocks down this line, and we see that really often. You throw enough rocks down a line, and it just speeds right up.
Yep.
So they're going to have enough there to push that one back, and quite possibly sit 1-2. Jeff will go after the stone.
Switching up the handle here, but just enough room for the outturn for sure.
There's enough room. It's looking pretty good.
It is looking good. They want a slight roll under.
Yeah, they'd love to get that little bit of a flip under.
Not too far, and
yeah, they're actually going to hit it a bit too thin on that outside, and just going to keep rolling.
So now, being that they're not 1-2 anymore, the Remus could go for the top, the red one, and hit and roll. Or
he absolutely could, but it's completely out there, and it's really.
You can leave it for later, even for hammer.
It's a rock that I don't think is going to make that much of
a difference. Right?
I don't want to say make that much of a difference in the end, because it absolutely could come into play depending on these last few shots happen. But with everything on that back quarter of the sheet behind the tee line, that's still the out for both teams.
Mm-hmm.
That's still the opportunity to score 2 or to get the force.
The weight looks perfect on this one.
This is going to be, I think we're finally going to see it. This is going to be a absolutely fantastic shot.
Yeah.
They are going to be peaking maybe about a quarter of a rock from that guard. but there is a lot of granite there to catch any sort of hit.
Yeah, at this point you can't take on any hits here, so now be a game of corner freezes here, I believe.
Yep. And here we go, chest first, trying to the corner freeze on the rock that they just threw. Sweeper's kind of being on and off it on this, so weights will look pretty darn good. Question is, are they can get that line to come over for it?
This is looking really good.
It is. I think it's going to be it might just be a little bit heavy. They're going to have to try to tuck it underneath.
Actually works as well, even though it may be
It worked. It definitely works to cut that back one out. They're not going to sit shot rock,
Yep.
but it does count that back counter out.
Now could yellow freeze another one onto their yellow one, sit 1-2, or do they go back? I guess that's what they're debating here.
That's what we're talking about right now. The danger, obviously, of freezing to that back one that Jeff threw, is there will be room for another rock there.
Yeah.
And that will leave Jeff the opportunity to throw essentially the exact same draw
Yeah.
to sit.
And you really can't leave too many openings for Jeff. 'Cause
Yeah.
he will-
Which is why I think what they're talking about now is to leave that rock, don't come down, to not come down and play that freeze, but rather leave a little bit of a gap there.
Yep.
Because that way, if Jeff then throws that freeze back at them, there's potentially a chance that they could play some sort of a hit with all those catchers, maybe to score their 2 or 3. I think the other option here would be to draw to the open side.
Yeah, could absolutely
That
do
would
that.
be your,
Yep.
potentially your other option. Draw open, maybe try to tuck one half under that that red that's been sitting up there in the top right.
Yep.
That could be your potentially your other option, though. That still leaves Jeff the freeze on a second one. So I really do like this shot call here. If they can make it, it's going to put them in a really good position to score 2. That said, the sweepers are on this really heavy, and I don't think this is going to make it. No, this one's going to check up far, far short. Not only of where they wanted it, but far short of the house as well.
Yeah, unfortunately the guard doesn't really help them anything
No,
at this
this
point.
this gives Jeff the opportunity to basically throw the exact same draw. Even if he's a little bit heavy and touches zone, he'll still probably sit shot rock. And probably at that point, the force is on.
Jeff just threw this shot. You should be close on this one as well. You would
Yeah,
think.
it's essentially the exact same shot that he just threw.
Yeah.
Now the one danger here is leaving it open and short, essentially, and leaving the potential hit, open hit, or hit and roll to score the 2. So I think your 2 options, either you want to make that freeze, or if you're not going to make that freeze, leave it high enough up that it can't be hit and
Definitely. I think even if it comes up a little short and corner freezes that yellow, it wouldn't be bad result.
no, well, I don't know how much a corner freeze on the top one helps. So if they're still, if yellow's still shot rock,
Right, if
all they're
it's-
doing is drawing the open.
Yeah, no,
it shouldn't come into play.
Providing they can get shot rock out of it, yeah. is.
But this one's
have enough
coming
weight
up towards
for
that
sure.
yellow.
Might
They can
tap
get
the
like
yellow,
a
actually.
chip on it.
That
They
could
are.
work out. Let's see.
It is now shot rock.
It's not second though. For red, so
That red is shot rock. It is
the angle is tough though.
partially buried as
Yeah.
well. Now I'm not sure if you make a play on this on that red rock, whether or not you're going to be able to get two.
I don't think you can get nose. That leaves the question where your shooter will stay at if it's good enough for second
Yeah.
shot.
I mean, I guess if you take it, try to over curl to the I guess that would be the outside of nose. Maybe you catch that red going back to sit your two.
That would take. There's also the option of having a really delicate shot to corner, punch it out to the side, and roll to the right.
Yeah,
of
I
the
guess.
foot, but that's a very difficult shot.
But anything with that is going to be really dangerous because you might be running into your own yellow there.
Yeah. Yeah, you might give up a two if you're really unlucky on that.
I think this is real. To be honest, I'm not sure if the risk reward is here for this one. Because he does have the draw the 4 foot draw.
Yep.
He's got over half of the 4 foot completely available to him on the right side of the sheet.
Yeah, you could definitely just take your one here and move on. I guess
Which
would be the option.
Unless you're not feeling confident on your draw weight on that side.
Yeah.
So this one could I mean, if he makes it for two, it's going to be an absolutely fantastic shot. Oh boy, this one's moving. They're going to have to go hard on it to get around that guard. I don't think they're going to. Nope, that's in the corner.
Yep.
And that is going to be another steal of one for Jeff Wright.
Let's take a quick look at sheet 3, our second event finals. We have Not Sure still in the lead, and sitting shot rock. That's a good shot to eliminate that, and sitting 1-2 with 2 rocks to go. And in the third event finals, Sawyer or Swept have scored a point in the third, down 3-1. And in our fourth event finals, Olet still up 3-0. And also sitting a lot of rocks in the house. This one does spill out, and that was Hammer, I believe, also.
That was, and that's going to be a steal of 4, I believe. That is going to put them at a 7-0 lead over McBride. Well, that first lead rock there, crushing that red guard, spilling into the house. Give Jeff the opportunity to hit this one and try to roll under.
Yeah, no sense of leaving this one in play for Wright.
Oh, hit it right on the nose. And likely will probably leave that one outside of the house.
Taking a look.
But even still, I'm not sure anything in front of the house to an extent is going to help him here. As he tries to generate his 2. Does kind of have that red, which spilled over into a corner guard. He's going to go right around. Buston's going to get out a little bit too far on him. Gonna crash that red, but once again, not sure if that's going to be on or not.
I think they indicated that it's out.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty safe bet.
So draw another one in there.
Yep. This one you've got the open draw path, or if you play off the red a little bit, either one of those is going to work. With as many rocks that are out in front right now, I think Jeff wants to get one in here.
That's a nice rub off of that rock.
Yep. And that's going to spill really nicely underneath those semi-staggered guards. Not completely staggered, but it's going to be a little hard to get at.
So going for a hit here. Are you surprised by this call here, or?
A little bit. In a way, it feels a bit early to be going after a rock in the outer 12. The roll would have been in there if they had gotten on the inside of nose. But I'm not sure how it helps you. It's not really the danger rock right now. The danger rock is that one that Jeff has in the forefoot.
Maybe just deciding then wasn't set up right, and trying to.
And with that rock in the forefoot, you really need to play. If you're going to clear rocks in the center. Because what this is going to allow him to do, Team Right to do is throw another one up here in the center.
Yeah.
And it's every rock that gets up there in the center is one more rock, one more chunk of granite that needs to be removed before they can gain access to that one in the forefoot. And that is going to end up as a pretty decent guard there.
Oh, they could try to run the yellow back.
I think it looks better on camera than it does than it does looking. It is likely there, but you're gonna have to play tight to that left guard. In order to get the angle right. But it is there, and they are gonna try it. And there is a lot of good that can come out of this shot, even if you do clip one or two of those. Those yellows or red rocks.
Looks like they're fairly happy with it.
Yeah, it looks close. They're going on a little bit. Very nice.
Good shot.
Very nice shot.
Jeff wants to clean up here, not leave any yellow around in the house.
Absolutely. It's a super short run. They're almost on top of each other.
They're going to leave a couple of rocks around, though, so there will be a draw around for the remis. coming up on the next shot. So
Yep. Let's get it. Just clean the yellow out. No sense leaving it around. There will be some rocks up in front, but every rock that goes away is one less rock that can score. And that's the way that Jeff's going to look at that.
asking the vice here of the opinion of either hit and roll on the top one or draw around. I think there's
Yeah, and I think that
you have the whole house pretty much to
and I think that's
draw
the big
two.
key here. Is I think the draw is likely the best option. Any sort of hit and roll, that one on the top is only at best maybe a third to a half on. So any roll you're probably gonna get is no deeper than middle 12 at best. Versus if you can really get a good one here and get one around, you can really put
Yeah,
Jeff
it's
into.
gonna put a deuce into play. That's what they're
The
hoping
sweepers
for.
are waiting on it for weight. And line.
Just need to curl a bit.
It needs to curl a lot, unfortunately. They're gonna have halfway decent weight, but it's gonna remain almost completely open.
Oh, just 3 more feet on that one. It would have curled around a little bit more on the corner.
Yeah,
guard
and they had tons of room around that guard.
Yeah.
They could have potentially played that quite a bit tighter. But a little bit more weight, maybe a little bit tighter on the broom, and that would have been a fantastic shot. As it is, it's gonna be pretty open here for Team Right to go after it. And if they can get inside the nose a little bit, they'll get a pretty solid roll into the 8-foot.
Sweeping is hard though.
They're going hard on it though.
It's very close to
I
that
think
card.
this might be on that red. And it is. It is gonna be on that red.
Now maybe they can play the same shot that Wright did earlier with a little split on the yellow and roll under. I think the key here is going under the guard though, right?
Yeah, I mean you could play the split, but I'm not sure how much that split
No,
helps you.
it's probably just another option.
Once
of the
again, when you
draw.
play that split, you're not getting. You get really shallow angles,
Yeah,
and so if you're splitting something in kind of that top 12 area, you're just gonna give yourself maybe half 8-foot at best on
and
either
you might
one.
set up a double for Wright as well.
Versus you do have those guards, you can absolutely swing one all the way into the 4-foot. Sweeper's not touching this one
They're
though.
happy with the weight. Line looks pretty close as well.
Line looks really good.
Yeah,
The
gotta
question is,
curl a little bit. This looks pretty
gonna
good.
be a really
If you
nice
drag
one.
it, drag it, drag
yeah,
it.
that's a pretty nice one.
Yeah, that's a beautiful shot.
They're gonna take a solid chunk of it. It is gonna have enough open for Jeff to potentially go after, but really nicely thrown draw there.
Well, 3 options here. You can even try to pick the shot rock, or you can hit and roll off the outside one, or you can even freeze onto top of the shot rock.
Yeah, Jeff has a lot of options here. As you said, you could freeze on it. You try to chip it. You potentially play that yellow double. That's a not that bad if a double. And technically, you have 2 different red runs you could play on it. But it looks like
I'll double off the outside though.
yeah,
Seems
looks
that's
like
a
looks like
tough
we're
shot.
lining up. Looks like we're lining up the double here.
You you think they're playing a skinny double here?
That's what they were.
Or
Well, I think they're playing the slash double,
yeah, right.
which is the way that they were lining it up.
Maybe
But they were going to hit it too thick and just nose the top yellow. Which
the
once
main
again,
point was to get one of the yellow outs out here, I think.
they're definitely not going to be dissatisfied with that result, removing one yellow. It is a fairly lonely yellow there, sitting in the top 4.
Yep.
But this will give them an opportunity. They can either draw, or what they're looking at right now is playing a short little hit and roll, stack more underneath. They're still, without a doubt, an opportunity here for 2.
They do have a good area to roll under here, so with 3 guards sitting out front.
Absolutely, there's guards up front. All of the red are in the top 12 foot. There's still a really big scoring area here for yellow, which is going to work. Which is going to work in their advantage. If they make a really good roll here, it's going to force Jeff to either try to play some sort of a freeze or draw to shrink that scoring area, or play some sort of try to run double.
Yeah. This one is
This one also is going to just hang out a
Hang
little
out
bit
there.
too
They
wide for him.
swept it
And they're
early,
not-
thinking it was going to be narrow, but it was indeed needing to curl in the end.
And so it's going to give...
Now they're looking at the slash again.
I think they're looking at the slash again. I mean, there's no inside double on it, really.
Definitely isn't, no.
See, if you're going to throw the double, you're going to throw kind of that nose to slash double.
It was close on the slash on the first attempt, and this should be
It was
Close
the
as
angle.
well.
Obviously, we're 2 rocks higher, so the angles are going to change. But they did throw us. It's a very similar line between what they just threw and what they just watched. So, but if this one hangs out, like we've seen, if this one hangs out or doesn't move back like they expected the last couple to, it's once again it's to open up the opportunity here for yellow to score 2, get themselves right back in this game.
Broom is basically where they want to hit it. And
It is, and we are the inside sweeper. Ross is on this hard,
this
but
looks like
he might have pushed this one out a little bit.
it's gonna jam, or are they gonna get it? Oh, they get it.
They're gonna get it.
Yeah.
They're gonna get it on a shot that probably doesn't exist in this club last year.
And again, the nice new rocks there.
Yeah, that's what I was
Definitely
saying.
help.
I'm not sure that shot exists in this club last year. I don't think you're moving. I don't think that middle rock is moving. But this is going to be the force here. I think that one on the center line is biting the house a little bit, which is going to prevent the blank.
Yep.
It's going to prevent the blank attempts. So
another good end for right here.
another good end. They'll get the force. But one of the hardest shots in curling, drawing most of the house.
Definitely.
So
And they're out to sweep this one.
oh no, you have 3 out there. And I think that draw's going to come up light, and I think that's going to be a steal of 2.
So an uphill battle here for Dreamers, but they'll keep plugging away. Let's look at our other games. Sheet 3, we have not sure, is still in the lead, 4-1 over Anderson. Sheet 1, we have our third event finals. where Iwanaga is up 7-1 right now. And in our fourth event finals, we have a lot of rocks in play, with yellow needing to score bundle. Unfortunately, looks like red has control of the house in this end. And this is hammer as well. So just a heavy draw to roll in for the single. This one is hanging a little bit as well, though. And it looks like 2 or possibly 3.
I think that's going to be handshakes here. Looking out there. Yeah, we see the handshakes.
That's handshakes on sheet
So that is
4.
going to be let over McBride in fourth event?
Fourth event.
Yeah, our fourth event, which was our our first event. What do you call it? The consolation.
Consolation, yep. They were
Both
semifinalists.
of those teams having a really good run up to the semifinals last night to come back out. And back over in our first event, we have a center guard up there and a far corner for yellow. And we'll have an update on our second event final here shortly, as there is one rock left to throw. For, I believe this is going to be the force for red. The Team Anderson.
Yep. Or could it be that they're getting a
Yeah, that is.
red second, or is it
That's a really
third?
close one. I am not sure.
Looks like they're going for the hit, though, so
I
they
think-
believe it's.
I think they believe it's either
Pick up
going to
a
be
deuce
them
here.
or it's going to be close enough for a measure. So there's not really on it that much.
Curl a little bit. I think it's going to be
I think it's
fine.
going to be pretty good.
Unless they move the red one out. Barely, so let's see. They agree on
Oh,
here.
we agree on the one.
Yeah.
And now we'll be taking a look at these two. That's going to be at least one here for Anderson.
They might have a measure. Still looking.
Or not, I think we agree it's going to be a 2 red. We'll wait for the score to get posted. I think that's going to be 2 red. Yes, it is.
So it's a 1-point game.
1 point advantage. Then we back in the 6th.
So yellow does have the corner set up and a
They,
draw.
they do have a
under.
corner and they do have one underneath. Currently a second shot. This one's going to be unfortunately a little deep though. It will stick around here for a shot rock in the back of the 12. We have now to the point of clearing those guards up front.
So even without hammer here, right is electing to clear the center guard.
Well, at this point, they've got They do have second shot. Shot Rock is in the back 12. That guard is really only helping Dreamus here.
Yep.
Now this is still well set up for Dreamus here to get two, get himself back in this game.
We also saw, right, indicating the bonus would be to hit that yellow one, get the peel and hit the yellow one on the side.
Absolutely.
That would have been a fantastic result. As it is, they just peel it, which is fine.
Without a doubt. It definitely, you throw the peel that way, potentially if you catch anything, any of those yellows on the way out, absolutely fine. And you are peeling your own rock. So whatever that rock that they're throwing in,
yep.
if it stuffs and sticks on something, it is your color that you're running back in there. But this is a pretty good looking draw here, trying to come under that corner. Drag another one under that corner.
Curl it a little bit more.
It's curling really nicely for him. And that's going to be a great T-line draw under that corner where you had a little bit of a stagger.
Jeff might have
with
the
biter. It's definitely.
Go after it? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's definitely open from the hack, probably about half a rock. But it's also not the easiest one to make in the world.
It's not, no.
And
for sure not.
And the other option here would be for Jeff to try to throw some sort of a double peel, potentially.
I guess they can chase it, and even if they do hit a guard, they can roll into the rings. That would be...
Yep. And we do also have another final here on sheet 1.
It's Iwanaga from the Windy City team that takes the third event over Sorry Overslept from Chicago.
The Kerry Dixon team from Chicago. Great weekends by both teams.
For sure.
And I think in the end here, coming back, they are just going after that open stone back there in the back.
Yeah. Not messing around, playing the safe and easy shot.
I mean, I think what Jeff's thinking here is all of those counters are pretty far off the center.
Yep.
So you hit the open rock. It's going to have Dreamus here come in, throwing another rock back underneath. Yeah, it's looking pretty good.
Off and on.
I'm going to try to carve it here right at the end, get a little bit extra curl on it.
Really perfect, and that's a fantastic shot.
Yeah, that's quite an exceptional shot there. Well thrown, well swept, well called. It's going to give Jeff has the choice here either to try to throw that peel on the top one again, open that up, or with them pushing that one back, it is giving them the opportunity to maybe corner freeze on either one of these two. Which is, I think, the shot that they have selected to throw here.
Just cleaning it here.
They're not really touching that much. I think they like it. I think the biggest question here is is it gonna stop in time, or is this gonna kind of bounce off and bounce open?
Open here, but it does.
And it does.
That's a great result as well.
It's a really good result, but with it bouncing open like that, it will give them the opportunity here to throw some soft weight, maybe a back line to hack.
Yep.
But it's open enough. I mean, just looking at it down the ice, it is open enough. You could probably throw hack to board at this, still get inside and get that out of there.
Yeah, Yeah.
So
would be,
that bounce really has once again provided an opening here.
off and on. That's good.
Oh, they're really close on this one. It's looking really nice. This is gonna be a really good shot. Ooh, it's pretty good.
It moves to yellow, but they're still sticking around 4 of them, I believe.
Yeah, it does look like they're sticking around 4. Unfortunately, it did just barely clip that back
It
yellow.
did, yeah.
It's hard to tell if that is still sticking around here, if they're shot or not. If yellow here is shot rock or not.
Yeah, that is hard to
But
tell. I think it is.
If Jeff isn't careful here, all those biters could come back to haunt him.
Definitely could. Regardless, they have to deal with that yellow.
Yeah,
That's the
well,
most open.
absolutely have to deal with that. Have to deal with that yellow. Um,
It's trying something similar in weight that the yellow team just thrown, maybe.
I don't know, because it seems like they keep going back and forth on whether or not they like the
Like more of a
like the freeze or if they
Yeah.
like the hit here
Yeah.
better. So we'll have to see once Waters puts the broom down, what shot they're going for. And it does look like they're playing some. It does look like they're going to be playing for the freeze
Yep.
here, which is probably of the shots. It's probably the safer shot, assuming that you make it somewhere in the ring so it out counts.
Yeah, you
Um,
don't want to chase it and hit the guard and roll out. And
yeah,
that
the
opens up
danger is
door
if you
for
the danger is
big
if you
engines.
chase it and you either flash or you catch one of those guards. Those two reds are fairly doubleable, and now you're looking
sure.
at a big one.
Yeah.
Assuming that they can make this and at least outcount those two biters, if not all three of them that are in the 12 foot. This is probably the safer of the two calls.
They're going early, now they're going for curl.
It looks a bit warm. I think this might bounce off a bit, but it is going. It does,
Slight bounce there.
but it is going to sit and, as I said, cut out all of those in the 12 foot.
Yep.
Which is really, I think, was the big key there to prevent the really big end. But once again, this is going to give the Doremus a chance to throw that soft weight and potentially hit and tuck another one under there.
Yep.
But also, I should point out that that little bump has now set Team Right as both shot 1 and shot 2 by moving that yellow over.
Indeed, yeah, that's huge.
Oh, we are on this early. We're on this. Oh, this might. They're gonna have to go hard to get around this guard.
Do they stick around?
Oh no.
It does slip all the way to fourth shot. There's no natural double on the reds either.
No. Unfortunately, this is
Jeff is
once again looking like it's gonna be.
basically have to put another one in there, I think. To sit 3.
Yeah.
The only one that's would be possibly available for Doremus would be some hit on the yellow to try to get the red going.
Oh,
The
God,
corner
that's
slash.
such
It's
a-
difficult shot, but at this point they're in dire needs of a big end.
Yeah. I'm sure you leave that shot. I mean, I think Jeff is swinging another one back over onto that freeze area. The other option that you could potentially talk about doing is throwing one kind of on the center line,
Yeah.
where it's not hittable to be shot, but tightens the draw scoring area, out counts some more. But the freeze onto their thrown yellow over there, it's also a pretty good shot, because if you corner freeze it, any sort of hit is going to jam and cause a lot of issues.
Pretty happy with the weight here.
Yeah, and the sweepers are close, but they're not really on it too much. I think they're going to be pretty happy with it.
That's pretty perfect right there. I don't see anything there other than a force here at this point.
Yeah, that is once again a very good throw by Jeff. And I am not sure they're gonna look at this run over here, but I am not entirely sure there's anything there for him.
Not after that last shot. There isn't.
Well, this is just once again, it's another end. Those being well put together by Doremus. But a couple very clutch shots by the back end of Team Right has really swung this end around.
And that slight miss of taking the corner guard instead of getting to right shot. You can't just. It's hard to have any kind of mistake against Right. They will take advantage.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen through the entire weekend both of these teams make fantastic shots and play very good, very tight games.
Yeah.
And once you put two teams of that caliber together, as we're seeing right here, it's the tiniest of margins that make the difference.
For sure.
Between how this game is played. I'm sure the scoreline right now is 5-0. But I don't think that is indicative of the game that we've seen so far.
Absolutely.
Doremus has had multiple well put together ends that he easily could have had his 2, his 3, maybe even a 4 in the third end. And that's just how this game can swing sometimes. Is you can be having everything put together really nicely, but 1 or 2 shots really can make the difference. And the margins, when you have 2 really good teams, are so thin. They are playing some sort of Hail Mary double here, or maybe triple or quad. And I think this comes down to just the fact that taking 1 here, I don't think is gonna help them that much.
Right.
But I'm not sure where this goes. And with this weight and working through it, I'm not sure this is touching anything as it flies by. And that's going to be a steal of 3. And that'll be handshakes here for our first event final. Team Right over Team Doremus.
A game that was much closer than the score.
Absolutely.
Let's head over then to Sheet 3, our only remaining game, and it's the second event finals. And we saw T-Bon just pick out the red shot rock in the 6th end, and that was the hammer.
Which I believe is
2 yellow.
I believe.
confirmation was to go through here or just in the house.
I don't believe it was,
But it's gonna,
but it will be. It will be anyway.
It will be in the house.
Maybe a bit of an audible from the hack. But there's no slide to the back 8 here. And hopefully Anthony will go up there and give us a confirmation on our score. And yeah, it is 2 yellow in the 6th end.
Up by 3 with 2 ends to play.
So pretty strong position here for team not sure.
Yep.
But Vanderson is able here to generate 2 points. We have seen more than our fair share of teams that are able to pull off that 8th end steal and potentially extra end steal as well. So all to play for here in our second event final. Unfortunately, that guard, I believe, is going to slide a little bit deep. So you get to get the opportunity here to move this right stone from play.
Sailor with a hit here. Let's see if they can execute. Looks like it's pretty close to nose.
That'll be a pretty
That's a
good shot here. And once again, we have Team Anderson playing for the guard. Now we'll get the guard here. Good corner guard up there.
T doesn't mind, even if it chips off a little bit. Probably the thing he doesn't want to see here is a high guard, so you want to make sure that playing close to the house.
No, they're just going to pull another one, try to pull another one here into the 4-foot. This one seems a bit steamy, though.
It is steamy.
But
might even knock that one out.
it might have enough to get this one all the way out.
Okay, so he says might as well not leave anything around there and take it out.
And that being said, in their position, a heavier shot there is definitely the better option.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Team Anderson here going to be trying to play the freeze on the center guard, or on the center one in the 4-foot, 8-foot, whatever that foot is. Which I don't think this one's going to make it. Oh, it might. They're definitely carrying them. This is a great sweep.
Yeah.
It's going to end up being kind of a halfway shot, though. Not the freeze, not under the corner. But it is going to be one that he's going to have to deal with.
Yeah, I just want to make sure they get us out. Ray's checking what the weight is called here.
Yeah.
This probably looks like a normal hit. They're on this.
And Sabres are on this right out of his hand. The guard's coming up quick.
It is coming up quick, and it does chip it. It's a little narrow at the hand.
And this will give Anderson a definite opportunity here.
With no guards in play, though, I get the question is, what do you do here?
There is no guards in play. The two options you kind of have is to play. I guess you have 3 options here. You can play this freeze, which I really like.
Yeah.
Is what he's showing right now. You could attempt to play the double, or some sort of hit and roll. That would be another definite opportunity. You could throw the guard on your.
You
on
definitely
your,
could throw the guard, yeah.
I think that might be the most challenging of them. Since they will still be sitting just second shot, but with no guards, the guard would definitely help you. But I really do like this freeze here.
Throwing the double is basically saying you're fine with the deuce.
Yeah. Which I think in this situation two is definitely
It's a
great
it's a
outcome.
good story, yeah.
The
'Cause
problem is with throwing that double, especially this early, and you still have half the end to go.
yeah,
You're really trusting that you can trade those hits. So as soon as
sure.
you roll out,
yeah.
you're gonna have a challenge. Throwing the freeze definitely is a higher margin.
Yeah. Fortunately, though, they froze on the wrong rock, I believe.
Yeah, they're trying to play the freeze onto the
There-
yellow. Unfortunately, I think it overcurled from a bit.
He is looking whether it's any jam possibility in the back.
I don't think. I mean, it might be. They are either frozen or almost frozen. So
They're probably
there might
spilling,
be
yeah.
there might be some sort of a drag if they get too far inside. But even with that, I think both reds will probably go.
So you probably want to hit this a little bit on the inside to make sure that red spills out to
Yeah,
the right.
I think
If
you're
you can
wanting
pick
nose
here.
to just a hair inside nose. I think anything on the outside you risk
Yeah. This is
not
narrow, though.
removing that top one. This one's very inside.
Oh, they're holding it for pretty well, so it does catch a piece.
It does, but it's going to spin that yellow, or sorry, spin that red right under the
Yeah.
forefoot.
Interesting.
And that's going to actually work out quite well for Team Anderson here. And now he's going to throw
Corner freeze to
throw
stagger.
that corner freeze onto that yellow and put himself in a really good opportunity to get his two here.
Gave it a little bit out the hand. Their sweepers are careful with this one. Sweeping
This
for
looks light,
line.
though. This looks light. I think they're gonna. It's gonna work out for him. I think they need to stop sweeping it. It's gonna work out as some sort of. Well, no, it's not. It's just gonna slide
Can
all
they
the
get
way
into
over.
the house?
It will get into the
Okay.
house, but it will sit fourth shot. So while it will sit in there, it's not going to be as useful a shot as I think they were hoping.
So T is looking at the run here, probably.
Yeah, I think he's trying to figure out where he can hit it, where he
Yeah.
can hit this run. It's a pretty short, maybe 4-foot run. Now there's the added challenge if they do have that catcher back there.
You would never want to guard this again with being yellow, would you? Or that would just be.
I don't think so. You are up 3.
Yeah.
I guess the risk here of going after this is if you just peel your yellow out.
Oh.
You're now looking at maybe risking if they can throw the double back or they can throw
Well
the
swept
short run
away.
back at you.
So, I mean,
And this is
overcurling
actually-
a tad.
That's overcalling a lot. They're going to completely miss this. And this is what I was just kind of talking about. The real danger of throwing that shot. And I don't know if this is going to spin back enough for them. It's
Alright,
not.
this third shot.
This is where it becomes really dangerous to throw that shot.
Yes.
Because if Anderson can ever get at that back one, now they're potentially looking at 3 here
Yeah.
and really making this an interesting game going to the 8th. Once again, both sweepers trying it pretty early. And they're trying to tuck one under this one here. the one that's a half player trying to tuck one under. It's a really good shot if they can make it.
Looks good.
It looks really good. Oh, ooh,
Oh, that was
they
close.
just paid for that card and tuck one. That is an absolutely fantastic shot. And once we saw T and Anthony really kind of in control of this end to try to keep it
Definitely looks.
keep it clean.
Look like
Now
they're
they are
trying to
looking
start
at trying to not give up.
a
Not
big
even just
score.
the
Yeah.
two
Yeah,
to go back up with
for sure.
coming home up, but
Yeah,
three
they're
and
even.
really even depending on how these last skip rocks go, like threes in play, even four.
Yeah.
If there's a if
I mean,
things-
normally they would want to get rid of this red one, but it's so much danger with that shot that they've been looking at freezes. They've been discussing corner
Abs-
freezes. It's,
Absolutely, and this is where you get to the point of it's what do you feel most comfortable with? Do you feel comfortable with bailing yourself out? As I said, bail yourself out with the draw, bail yourself out with the hit. Now, there's a couple hits here for T that he can throw. He can throw the open one on the one in the button.
Yeah.
You can try to play this run double on the side.
Yeah.
Both of those, and you are up. Remove red rocks.
Yep.
That being said, a miss, a hit, roll out, or something like that is still leaving leaving three or something like that in the
You
play.
play, yeah.
You can bail yourself with how the rocks are set up. You can absolutely bail yourself out with the draw. You freeze one on the inside corner of that one that they just threw. You're starting to cut rocks out.
The hit is here. They're throwing a nice controllable weight so
Yep.
the sweepers can control this. Make sure they get the right roll so they do not get the jam. Ray sweeping for curl here. It's close. Is it gonna clear it?
It's going to be pretty
Oh,
good.
that is a fantastic shot there.
It's a really good shot. I don't think they get as much of a roll as they're hoping.
They would.
This is definitely give Anderson the chance to come here, roll,
Yeah.
hit, roll. Still get two. Still in really good shot shape for two here. This is going to be an absolutely fantastic end to this game. As you see the last three shots of this end and whatever the eighth end is going to give us.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is definitely going to be a great way to end this Bonspiel.
Come down
As
to
we
the
have
wire.
finals and all three of our other events. This is the last teams still out there. They are giving us a fantastic game here to close us out.
So he's throwing some kind of soft weight hit here and wants to roll over just a little bit on the other side
Yeah,
of the 4 foot.
I think it's. I don't have the best angle from where we're sitting here, but I think it's partially covered, so they're going to want to throw
It
a
is
little bit,
partially covered, yeah,
a little bit less weight. But also, you really want to make sure you stick around on this one.
for sure. Yeah,
If
yeah.
you carry too much weight, roll out, it puts you in pretty bad shape. You don't have, and with how everything is setting up, you don't actually have to make this rock go away, this yellow. Push it to the 12 foot, stick around with two rocks in the 8 foot. It's going to be perfectly fine for him.
It looks pretty good.
It does look really good.
It's
It's gonna be a really nice
it's a
shot.
clear shot.
And he's
It
going to get the
actually
flip
rolls
and roll
on
over.
top again.
Yep.
T's gonna have to duplicate that his first shot.
Yeah. At this point, the traded hits, the two is definitely looking pretty solid here. But the advantage that T and them and team have is they are up.
Yeah.
They are up 3. They can give up the 2, take hammer, and a lead still back. But with this last rock, he definitely has to really work to avoid this jam.
This one is hanging a little bit more than his
But this
first
one
ones.
is hanging a little bit for him.
They want to make sure they get.
But I think it's
Close to
going to curl
nose.
up enough for him.
They might lose the. Oh, they're playing it the other way, but
Once again, a shot that may not exist on this ice here
No.
last year.
did not.
That jam probably sticks the red around both these brand new rocks that we have here for this season and many seasons past this season. allow them to take that over top and still spill it.
Yeah.
But and unfortunately, I was looking away. I don't see if they're playing either the hit or the drop here.
It's they hit for 3. Because it looks
Oh,
like the top
you
one
are right.
is counting over the back one. Now that they lost the back one.
Yep. Thank you for being more attentive to this game than I am.
So
we have the potential hit here for
providing they
3.
make this shot here, we're going to be tied in going into the last end.
Now we have the sweepers right away. But they're staying off. They stayed off it for a little bit. I think this is going to work out pretty well for them. They do have that catcher as well.
Oh, it rolled out.
Is he going to be able to? No.
They
It is
do
going to
get
stick around, and that is going to be 3. We are going to go all tied up here in the 8th end.
Oh.
So after 7 ends, we could have just played 1. But with that shot, you're going to have a 6-6 tie. 1 end to play. Team not sure will have hammer.
It's a good news for Team Not Sure is even though they gave up the lead here and make it a tie game, they do have hammer coming back in the 8th, so they are in the driver's seat.
They're absolutely still in the driver's seat, but that is going to be such a momentum swing. Team Anderson has to be feeling great about how they played that end and how they secured that 3. It might but a little bit of air out
after
of
putting
Team
up
Not
a
Sure.
nice guard
So
here
I think
as well.
we're going to have a fantastic end here to finish this game and finish this Bonspiel out. Team Anderson gets the center guard up, first center guard up. And we're going to see Team Not Sure try to come right around and get one into the 4-foot here. Looks okay, but it looks like it might be a little bit warm coming
A
down.
little bit warm.
So I think this is going to slide a bit too far back for him.
Wisely, they put up a call for another guard here. I think that's the right call.
Absolutely. With a tied game here, all you have to do is get your steal of 1.
Yep.
Every guard helps. And I think the goal here is to get 2, maybe 3 guards up, sink one into the 4-foot, and protect it. Protect it like their lives, like their game matters on it.
Yep. Likewise for Team Sure, they don't have to worry too much about, they don't have to worry about generating a multiple score here. All they want to do is keep it clean and keep it open for their last shot.
True. Though I will say, because it is tied, they're going to want to be able to make sure that they have either that open draw path or that they hopefully have a second counter if they play for that hit.
Yeah.
Which I think the most
Second counter will be important, yes.
the worst thing that could potentially happen here is the open hit for the win and the roll out and we blank the 8th and we go to a 9th. I won't say that I've seen it, but I've seen it.
This one's good for line, but also a little bit deep.
Yeah, once again, great line, great drop, but just that hair heavy. Which is now going to sit 2 rocks back there.
Anderson being patient here, calling for another guard.
It's absolutely a great call. Play another guard. You still have the path on the left-hand side as we're looking at it here. But with both of those going, you absolutely could bring it in. The scoring area is shrinking with that second rock. But an additional guard here is definitely a really great choice. All it's going to take is 1 and rocks in front, stuff that you can tap in, run in. Are really good.
T will be looking
So that's
at
going to be a fantastic shot right off the center line, nice and tight. It's a lot of good options the Team Anderson can use that rock for, which is why we see Teague saying that
He is looking at.
he would really prefer that rock not to be there.
Yeah.
So he's gonna try to clear this rock out, and now that we are past the 5 rocks and the 5 rock rule and the free guard zone, we'll see T trying to clear this center and give himself something for the end of the game.
The key is not to leave it around here at this point. His shooter. Let's see if they can get that moving as well.
Oh,
Okay, they do. That was.
they do clear it, but they're also going to clear both of the rocks in the back.
Yeah.
And they are going to leave that counter for the red. Who knows if that's going to come back
Oh boy.
come back and haunt them.
Yeah.
Once again, I was just joking about the potential hit and roll out for the blank. Well, now there could be that potential hit and roll out for the loss. So that biter back there,
That biter is.
it could mean nothing in this game, or it could mean everything.
Yeah. If they make the shots here, nobody's gonna pay attention to that biter
Yep.
until the very last shot. So we'll see.
And that biter's a tough one. Like, if you're T, do you ignore it? It is a biter in the back 12.
I think the
You
more
have-
dangerous rock is the center guard at this
Yeah,
point.
you have guards up there.
Yeah.
We're going to see where this rock ends. We're throwing right now, but this is going to be another rock kind of up there in the front. You kind of need to kind of clear those out, but once again, like, or do you just hit that open rock?
I like this call to get rid of the center as well. So.
I personally, I agree. I think the rocks in the center here are the rocks that are really going to hurt you. And the way that he's throwing this is you could run that red back and potentially clip that biter off.
Yeah. No, that's a good choice.
So choosing, it's actually an important
You could play it.
piece is choosing which way you're running your
Yeah.
route, which way you're playing these
You
peels.
could you could also play it into the pile, but chances are you might get something sticking around doing
yeah,
that.
which unfortunately this rock is over curling for him.
is,
He
it
might be
is.
running this into the pile anyway.
And it
And we'll
does
see what happens.
leave another red one in the house,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
that's. On the one hand, it does clear guards, and so
It does, yep.
that is a success here for that team. But in clearing guards, you've removed red rocks, or yellow rocks, I should say, from the house,
Yeah.
and now Anderson is sitting 1-2, albeit without either one of them guarded, which he will attempt to guard the center one here right now. There still, though, is a huge scoring area, and there is a complete drop path here for T
Yep.
on his last rocks. So Team Anderson is in a much stronger position at the time being.
This one over curls a little bit.
It will. But once again, it's still a guard, and it's still in a position where it's definitely helpful.
We're looking at this. If they do make the double, then they will leave a new center guard, although it's
Yep.
yellow. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, and for T, it's all trade-offs,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
You make the double, but you leave the yellow guard. So instead of 2 red rocks out in front,
They're going hard
it's
at
1
this.
yellow. But it's still a guard. It's still something
Going
that
hard
Team
at this.
Anderson
They have
can
a
use.
chance to get the nose. Do they get the second one? No, they don't.
They don't. It's just squeaks by that one in the 8 foot. And so as we saw in our first event game, the smallest of margins coming back and swinging
Yeah.
the momentum of ends, swinging the advantage.
Guard or tap? They're discussing here.
I think you're down to your last 3 rocks for
Yeah.
each team.
Yep.
You have one vice rock and 2 skip rocks to go. I think
Do you need to get closer to the button if you're Anderson here, or
absolutely. There's always, whenever you're trying to fight for that steal, either to force an extra or to maybe win an 8, there's always that talk of when do you make the move? When do you go for it?
yeah?
So you keep throwing guards, you keep playing that, but when do you make that move for the 4 foot? When do you shrink the scoring area? And I think
This one is a
right
little
now is a good opportunity for them to do that. You play the tap, you really force it. This one's going to check up as a guard, though.
It does.
Once again, it's the right margin. It's the right quote unquote miss.
Yeah.
At some point, you would really love to see Anderson get one into the forefoot, either a tap or a straight draw, or something that's going to shrink the scoring area on him. And likewise, at some point, if you're teed, at some point you have to decide to give up on clearing these guards and they can and use it to your advantage. Use all the rocks in front to put the pressure back. If you keep clearing, at some point you're going to run out of rocks.
Yeah.
Clearing this one off the top is a great decision. But even there is a draw path on both sides. It's a tight draw path to come through that port on the right, but it's there. Or you've got the wide open side. And even if you're sticking a little bit out, it still forces a change in strategy, a change in what they have to look at.
Yeah.
If you even just sink one around here on the left and half bury it, they have to go after it. Essentially, they have to go after it with 2 rocks left.
Yep. I think I do like the double run here. They can definitely move both the reds out of the way here and setting up a couple of yellows to be usable for taps potentially.
It is nice that they can run this, and the yellow is likely going to go on top of that.
It's a hair narrow, but as long as it hits,
I don't know.
The red
this
one.
Might be too narrow.
Oh, it is.
Once again, this is the danger of continually going after that peel.
Yeah.
As I said, if you're the team trying to steal, at some point you have to make that move to get to the forefoot.
Yeah.
Beat them to the forefoot. But even still, at some point, if you realize there isn't going to be a clean move to the forefoot for your last rock, if you haven't kept it clean enough, you're going to have to make that transition away from keeping it clean for my last shot to beating them there, right? Beating them to the forefoot.
It seems at this point they're probably done peeling and it'll be a race to the forefoot, I'm guessing.
So, what I'd love to see from Anderson in this one is playing that tap or playing that clean draw, getting one to the forefoot, and making them make a move. With as well as these teams are playing, it feels hard to think that a mid top 12 is gonna be what wins it for you. Shrink the scoring area. TMM have been throwing hits essentially all end, except for the lead rocks.
Yep.
So your sweepers aren't going to have as good a read on what the ice is doing in terms of sweeping for weight.
Anderson can really put the pressure on here with a good draw. At the same time, if he goes a little deep, then it leaves a good opening for T, so we'll see.
Even deep, assuming that he's partially covered, deep, it's not fantastic, but it also doesn't hurt a ton. I think the thing that's hurting him as we're watching this come in,
this stunt is a little deep.
Just not coming around. It's curling at the end, but I think just that little extra weight, but that really moved right at the end, and that is going to partially cover.
It's partially covered. I don't think they can go after that.
Yeah, and I think it's obviously not the optimal shot that they were going for, but once again, it shrinks that scoring area. It puts it's going to put T back kind of on the back foot, and we see it here, the transition to the draw.
I think T briefly looked at the run again to open things up, but I think here is a key to.
It has to be erased. With our skip, with including the previous shot, it kind of feels like it's who can draw closest to who can get the best draw out of these.
And hopefully the sweepers, I'm not sure, got a good read off the draw from Anderson on this first, and see if they can get a good Good reading on the speed here.
Yep. So the thing is if he can make this draw really good, it's going to put a lot of pressure here on Anderson for his last shot. That being said, if he doesn't get shot out of this, and they're able to throw another guard or another draw here on this left side,
Not touching this, but it looks pretty good.
it does look pretty good. The sweeper's not really that close to it, so is it gonna slow down for him?
Oh,
I
it's
think
curling.
it will.
Oh, they-
This is
curl it
checking
in,
up
curl
really
it, curl
nicely
it in.
for him.
It's a good shot, but it's a bit open.
It is, but it's a great draw.
Yeah.
It shows that he still has good draw weight.
Yeah.
Because depending on how this comes, he's probably drawing for the win on his next one.
Yeah.
But it does stay open, so this does allow them to chip this one out. Depending on where they stick around, it might give them a choice of either the draw or the hit on his last one.
Find number 3 on it. And then just hit the side button, the key, the arrow to the left on the big thing. So if he's really bold here and he plays a little down weight and doesn't flip too far, he might cover up the draw path a little bit.
A little bit. So in order to clear that back one, he's probably going to stick out a little bit.
Right. Correct.
You're going to probably pop out a little bit.
Enough where
Now, that's going to either A, leave a draw path on the last one, or might give him the hit and roll. Either one. Now, I think the optimal one would be to have it just clear that back one, flop, but not flop too far. Because you could potentially block the draw path well enough
Yeah.
that it becomes really tight to make,
Yeah.
and you kind of force T into the hit on his last one.
Supers are on this. Line's still looking
We got the
pretty
supers on this
good. It's
really
close
hard.
to the guard.
I think this
They
is
have
coming
it.
in
They have
nicely.
it. They have it. Oh,
Oh,
they clip
oh,
it.
just on it. Just on it.
Again,
Such
so
a close
close.
shot. And with that, we'll have Team Not Sure take the second event in a very, very well contested, very, very great, good game from both teams. But we'll have Team Not Sure over Team Anderson for our second event final, and that will conclude the Chicago Open for the 2022-2023 season.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. See you next year.